Come here. I'm going to tell you a story about a weeping mother.
I don't know which way I'm going.
A bawling fashionista. And a crying grocery store clerk.
Brad?
Clean up in aisle 3, please.
This story also has a biker.
I don't like cars.
A speed freak. A newlywed. And an aging blonde.
Don't tell me how to drive.
It may sound far-fetched, but the most horrifying part of this story is that it's real. One of the 7 characters I'm talking about really is Canada's worst driver.
The lousiest motorists in the country are in our rehabilitation center. We're teaching them how to drive. But it's not always the most relaxing experience. At the end of this episode, we'll announce this season's first graduate. At the end of our final episode, someone will be named Canada's worst driver. If you're on the road and want to get turned around, but there isn't enough room for a U-turn,
Off.
Yo, what the mean? What the mean?
you should really be doing a 3-point turn.
Oh, babe, honey, I'm trying.
A 3-point turn is called that because when it's all over, the vehicle will have gone in a triangular, 3-pointed pattern. For this 3-point turn challenge, we're using a 4-wheel drive Jeep.
So I enter and I start making my first turn all the way to the left. There's the edge. I can see my tire right on it. I reverse, but not until I've spun the wheel because I want to get every single inch I can out of this turn. Back up. Relying on my mirrors. Another foot or so. There it is. This is hardly a challenging challenge. And then I put it in drive and I leave. And that's how you do a 3-point turn. This might be one of those courses that surprises us because I'd be surprised if anybody fails that.
The entire challenge took me just 47 seconds.
Well, that's it. Let's see how Canada's worst drivers do.
From Ottawa, Ontario, new driver Lance was brought to rehab by Gilles, his best friend.
What's 4-wheel drive?
What happens in a 4-wheel drive car is you press the gas and you're powering all 4 wheels. In a normal car like yours,
Right.
you're only powering 2 wheels.
Okay.
To do a 3-point turn on this course, drivers can take as many attempts as they want during a 20-minute time limit.
It's just squeaking, it's not even scratching.
Lance spends his first minute just getting onto the course.
I can't see the rocks.
To show him the rock,
That's that rock again.
I stand on the rock.
I have no idea why his blinker's on or why he's in the moat. But we'll see how this unfolds.
Am I able to get out of this?
Well, because you're in 4-wheel drive, you should.
And he does.
And that's what 4-wheel drive's all about.
Nice.
It would be nice if Lance would learn what steering was all about.
And now he's gonna hit the rock that I'm standing on. Excellent.
After what winds up being a 21-point turn,
So she
Lance hits the other rock for good measure, having wasted 8 of his 20 minutes.
That was a good practice run for you, I think.
On his next run,
That's looking pretty good, man.
Lance hits the rock, then tries to reverse with the Jeep still in drive. And with that, Lance wants to give up.
It's impossible to do three-point turn in that.
It is impossible for Lance.
Watch the rock, watch the rock.
Lance's final try is his worst of the day.
Stop, 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 stop.
Lance never does a three-point turn.
I just can't get it, man.
From Hampton, New Brunswick, Jamie was nominated as Canada's worst driver by Eric, her husband.
Oh my God.
In Jamie's first attempt,
Ooh.
it's clear she has no real concept of a three-point turn.
How am I supposed to get out?
Trying to break out, Jamie hits the rock repeatedly,
Oh my God.
and eventually, she leaves without ever turning around. Trying to back up to the starting point, Jamie does some real damage. When she's back on the course,
You're gonna hit the rock on my side?
Oh, yeah.
Jamie flounders for 90 seconds. Then, just like Lance, she looks back but drives forward.
Why'd you do that?
I thought I'm backing out.
Not in drive, you're not gonna back out.
Even in four-wheel drive, she's not backing out.
We're stuck.
Drivers who get stuck get total failures.
Oh my God, it's just awful. Absolutely awful.
When we come back,
I don't want to get baptized.
Dale gets stuck and I get baptized.
I wonder when she'll figure out that this is just not working.
Canada's worst drivers are demonstrating their steering skills and their knowledge of angles and their spatial awareness by trying to do a three-point turn in this confined space.
Oh my God.
Originally from Zimbabwe, now living in Montreal, new Canadian Dean was nominated as the country's most awful motorist by Brian, his friend.
Let's fix the mirror, because I don't see. You can. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
On Dean's first attempt, he gets a feel for the course.
Easy.
And he makes it out with a 5-point turn.
Oh yeah, that was intense, man.
When he tries again for a 3-point turn, Dean fails again.
Shoot. I don't want to fail, man.
With each failure, Dean is getting more and more intense.
It's not easy. Oh.
On his 6th attempt, though, with the rain suddenly pouring,
Back up. Yeah, you have space, Dean.
Dean does a perfect 3-point turn.
Perfect.
Oh yeah?
Perfect. That's it.
Dean's done in 11 minutes.
Shows that I'm improving. And probably I'll graduate soon.
From Collingwood, Ontario, Paul was brought to car driver's rehab by his motorcycling buddy, Tommy, who hates our Jeep.
Drive it like you stole it.
Paul drives it like he's afraid of it.
Just crank that piston steering wheel. Crank out of it.
Oversteering
We're going back.
causes wear and tear, but sometimes it has to happen.
And just crank the out of the steering. It's not ours. Who gives a
To pass this challenge, drivers need to use all the real estate
Keep going. You got 6 inches. Keep on.
Crank
No,
it.
Yeah.
and all the steering.
Crank the out of that piece of.
Yay! By cranking the wheel, Paul succeeds.
You imagine that on a bike? Just holy God.
From the tiny town of Springbank, Alberta, fearful driver Brad was nominated as Canada's worst driver by Donna, his domineering wife. Donna's demeanor has a huge effect on Brad.
Look at the confidence in my baby.
In rehab, Donna is learning how much she influences Brad.
I'm so happy.
For that reason, Donna is trying to be more positive and less intense.
Give it. Go, 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 go. Yes, 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 yeah!
Brad passes, but he's still a scary driver.
I still believe that I am Canada's worst driver.
From Edmonton, Slow Diane is on our show thanks to Rayanne, one of her 6 children.
Crank it. This, yeah, towards me.
On Diane's first attempt, she cheats by looking out the door, and she runs into the rock.
Like, it's taking you like 6 turns.
But on her second attempt,
Maybe I should take a wider turn and go that way?
Diane clearly understands the necessary angles.
Just take it slow. You got it. Oh, I did it.
More than any other nominee, Diane did it.
I did it all by myself without Ran even instructing me.
From St. Catharines, Ontario, driving veteran Dale, who was nominated by her nephew John, fails her first attempt.
I know.
Dale's second attempt is the same as her first.
You're not gonna do it in 3.
But on her third attempt,
Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Dale sinks to a new low. And she cannot recover.
Stuck.
She's right. It's stuck.
You're stuck.
But Dale keeps the gas pedal pressed all the way in just to see if doing the same thing for a long period of time will ever yield a different result. It doesn't.
I'm no scientist, but this doesn't seem to be working. I don't know everything, but I do know some things. And this is not working. You think she'd figure it out soon, but no. Is this working? It's not working. It's not working. I don't think it's working.
I think I'm too stuck.
Dale's nominator, John, must feel like he's stuck.
I tell you one thing, I'm glad I'm not her nominator.
When we come back,
You're in the clash.
Canada's worst drivers have a stick shift challenge.
Too far.
Here at the Driver Rehabilitation Center, we have experts. Former highway cop Cam Woolley is our traffic expert. And our behavioral psychologist is Dr. Lauren Kennedy Smith. Then there's our instructors. Philippe Letourneau is our high-speed car coach. And Peter Mellor teaches basic driving skills. Every day in rehab, Canada's worst drivers get private lessons from Peter.
Now, I always start the car in neutral, and neutral means it's in no gear at all.
Today, Peter's teaching them how to drive a standard automobile.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
A standard is a car with a gear stick and a clutch pedal.
Okay, and clutch and brake, and we'll start.
Standard transmission vehicles are harder to slow down and speed up than automatics.
to make a change from first to second, your right foot comes off the gas and your left foot comes all the way down on the clutch pedal, and then you move the gear selector down from first to second.
But oddly enough, the only Canada's Worst Driver nominees who need a lesson in stick shift driving are Jamie and Dale.
Clutch. Your left foot should go down on the clutch.
Oh, okay, sorry.
For most good drivers, learning how to operate a stick-shift vehicle is an uphill battle. Will Canada's worst drivers be able to learn that complicated skill? We're about to find out, because their next challenge is balancing a standard automobile on this teeter-totter.
Oh, no, not the pine trees!
This is not a major challenge. It's a mini challenge.
Ooh, and here I go. All I have to do is get on the ramp and to the middle and stop, and it should get on the middle, and it should balance. A little bit more, a little bit more.
Ooh. Ooh. And? Man alive. That was like a 10-second knockout. I think that's my record.
Well, let's see how Canada's worst drivers do. Man, this thing is freaky.
Lance drives a stick shift at home, so this challenge should be easy for him. But it isn't, and he's blaming the car.
Yeah, it's not working.
It was working 5 minutes ago, and it's still working now.
You go up here, you hit the course, come on, you balance it, right?
I left the car in gear for Lance, but he's trying to put it in gear even more, I guess.
There you go. Put your salt.
This is...
Can I give it a shot, Andrew?
When Gilles takes the driver's seat, he's able to get the car going just fine.
Okay.
But when Lance gets back in,
Now you're driving away, but you're stalling.
Lance is doing more than just stalling.
Oh, that's grind him.
He's also smoking.
See, there's smoke coming out now, eh?
What's that mean?
I think it's the clutch, right?
That's right. When you're revving the engine while in gear, you're spinning a flywheel. When you release the clutch pedal, the clutch itself contacts that flywheel, and the transferred power makes you move. If you're revving too slow, though, the flywheel won't turn the clutch. And you'll stall. If you're spinning too fast, the hot friction will turn your clutch into smoke.
I feel like an idiot right now.
I want Lance to feel confident. But midway through my explanation about how a clutch actually works, he flies off.
And when you're up there...
Oh, The purpose of this challenge is to see who has good footwork. Lance doesn't.
Quickly go from your... well...
In fairness, the clutch in this car was fairly worn down before Lance got in. But it was still good enough to work.
Nope, that's not good. I swear I drive stick.
He won't be driving this one anymore.
I'm done.
This is not the first clutch Lance has killed.
Yeah, I burned through a clutch.
And how much did that cost you?
15.
Lance's car was worth saving. Our Mini is not, which means...
Yeah, he murdered this car. Murdered this clutch.
I didn't kill the car.
It's all part of rehab, Lance, you know? You gotta admit to that. Admit to that stuff.
Lance is in serious denial about his abilities.
I know how to drive standard.
To give Lance a fighting chance, we're gonna give him this 1990 Miata to try again.
This looks much nicer. I like this.
Can't wait to see what he's gonna do with that one.
What he does is rev the hell out of the engine. So sure, he goes. But the clutch is quickly being burned away by the friction.
Piece of cake, huh? Oh, hold on a second.
Oh, the clutch is going on this one too, I think. Honestly, it's burning bad. You could see the smoke. The clutch is burning big time.
Smell that? That's the clutch burning, that smell. Stop, where are you going? Where are you going?
The reverse isn't working.
Oh, you didn't kill another car, did you?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Lance is a slow learner.
I have now a better understanding of how a clutch works, but it took me to damage 2 cars to understand that.
Diane learned to drive a stick shift over 30 years ago. Diane can be an extremely emotional driver.
Stop.
One of the things we're trying to get Diane to do in rehab is spend more time focusing and less time crying.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm just gonna start using foul language.
After one big banging expletive,
Oh, for sakes.
Diane manages to get the teeter-totter to hover ever so slightly.
Just a hair, just a hair, just a hair, just a hair. You did it! Can I get down now?
Diane passes.
Oh, and I didn't cry.
When we come back, the rest of Canada's worst drivers hit this standard course. The folks in our driver rehabilitation center are showing us how good their footwork is by trying to balance a standard transmission car on this teeter-totter. Motorcyclist Paul is next.
What kind of car is this again? I don't know, but I don't like it.
Motorcycles all have clutches, so Paul almost gets this on his first attempt.
Almost there.
Yeah, whoa.
With a feel for the balance point, Paul casually reverses into place.
How's that?
That is perfect.
So do you want me to do a wheelie off this thing or what?
Brad's wife has a serious shoulder injury. A recent farm accident caused Donna permanent nerve damage. So I'll be with Brad for this challenge. Brad drives a stick shift car at home.
That didn't sound good at all.
Come on, man, you own a clutch car.
And like Lance, he has burned through his own clutch.
He's always had a thing for riding the clutch, eh?
Yeah?
With my car, because I spent $2,200 on a new clutch and tranny. So that's my big thing. Don't ride my clutch. Don't ride my clutch. Get your foot off the clutch.
Son of a bitch.
Brad's problem is pulsing on the gas pedal instead of giving the pedal even pressure.
It's smoky, man.
Appealing to a higher power.
And now, see...
What I see is another clutch floating away in the form of smoke.
I'm sorry.
Brad's clutch is everywhere.
It's coming in through the radiator now.
Dean will get a different car.
When did you learn stick shift?
Back home in Zimbabwe.
Come on, buddy.
Oh boy, look at Brian. He's got his foot right up in the dash. If an airbag deploys, his femur is going to come right through his chest. That's super dangerous.
Don't worry.
Yeah, man.
We took the airbags out of the car. But now, Dean is smoking the clutch out of this car.
What do you mean there's a smoke? You mean the car is burning? Huh? Come on. You hear that? That's a chainsaw.
Think we're going to run out of cars here.
I know I can do this. The car is smoking.
I don't know if you understand smoke signals, actually, but this is the international smoke symbol for awful driver.
You're awful.
We cut Dean off after 40 failures.
You're burning the clutch. You know how much the clutch cost? Too expensive, man.
Now we'll see if Dale can get balanced.
Focus.
If Dale could focus, she'd have a better understanding of her surroundings.
I'm there. I'm stopping.
You balanced?
I think I'm balanced.
I'm pretty sure Dale is unbalanced. Really unbalanced. Really, really, really unbalanced.
Smoke.
That's the clutch smoking.
While concentrating on her clutch, Dale drives right off the teeter-totter.
Dale, stop. You're smoking the joint out. Look, you're going to hotbox the entire garage.
Dale might be high on fumes.
And that car, I mean, it was smoking.
If Jamie can answer one question correctly, we won't make her drive this smoking stick shift challenge.
We ever buy a stick shift?
Would I? Probably not, no.
That's the right answer. Did you know that road signs are color-coded? Every color you see will automatically tell you something about the kind of information you're about to receive. For example, if you saw a sign that was, oh, I don't know, say, bubblegum pink, well, you'd know that that road sign was bogus, because road signs are never, ever bubblegum pink.
Do you know what an orange background represents?
I don't really pay attention to signs, so I don't really know. An orange, that school zone. Slow down.
Actually, an orange background is for
Playground zone.
That's a dead end.
I know these. I know I do.
Construction.
Pay attention to orange signs because fines in construction areas are usually doubled.
Now, this orange sign, what's it telling you?
It's telling you what to do before you do it. That's what it's doing.
Yeah, what it's telling you is the right lane ends due to construction.
That's what it's telling me?
And a yellow diamond.
It's a caution sign.
Yellow signs caution about important things, like the height of an upcoming bridge.
Just make sure your car is down to 3.9 kilometers.
3.9 kilometers an hour.
What? Yeah. Oh, 3.9 miles?
A white rectangle. What would it be telling you?
Yield?
Do you want to try again?
Stop.
no idea.
Like no parking?
Should be a speed limit sign. Anything that's legal, anything you must do.
We show everyone 14 signs.
One-way. One-way streets.
Brad gets 8 right. Dale only gets 1 right.
That is a warning sign to something.
Warning, Dale drives every day.
We don't have all these signs in St. Catharines.
They have brown signs, and those are used to inform tourists.
Okay, you cannot make a U-turn on a highway. You can't. That's illegal. That's what that means.
What it is telling you that tourist information is ahead.
That's a tourist information sign?
When Dale studies the sign, it just raises more questions.
Obviously, this is a road, and you can't get there. So this is how you get to it. It probably goes on a service road, and then there's your tourist information right there.
What Dale doesn't know could fill a book.
Now I know. Now I know. And if I don't know, I'll go home tonight and I'll write it down because it's gonna sink in.
When we come back, the bad drivers learn the dangers of braking into a corner.
This year on Canada's Worst Driver, we're not going to use classic automobiles in our challenges because last year after we killed our vintage Rolls-Royce, people just, they wanted to cry. So this year, we spent most of our entire car budget on a brand new metallic green Camaro.
Our theory is perhaps no one will cry watching a metallic green Camaro get beat up.
The next challenge for Canada's Worst Drivers is to learn something experts call threshold braking.
Teaching threshold braking is Philippe Letourneau, our incredible shrinking high-speed expert.
We're gonna do a training for teach you not to skid once again. Stay in control of your car.
Okay.
So it's a braking, no skidding exercise. The problem is that this car is not equipped with ABS.
Okay.
ABS stands for Anti-Lock Braking System. It's a much safer computerized braking system that slows wheels down without ever letting them skid. ABS is expensive, so
there's still 45% of cars on the road that don't have ABS.
Cars that don't have ABS will skid if you slam on the brakes.
All right, 70K an hour?
And when a car is skidding, there's no way to make it turn.
Can I lock up? Oh, skid, I steer.
I steered as far as I could, but the car never turned.
And as you notice, there's no more steering input possible.
I'm fully over.
And the car kept the same trajectory.
If you want to turn, you can't brake so hard that the wheels lock up.
If they do lock up, you ease off the pressure.
When I try again,
70, I'm there. I locked it. Well, I don't lock it.
Because I unlock the brakes, I'm able to steer safely around the pylons.
Is that okay? That's okay.
Yeah.
Threshold braking. It basically means don't skid. It's exactly what it means. You want to be in control of the car at all times, so skidding is not an option in this case.
Jamie skidded into a vehicle once.
I was doing like 60 or 70, and a car had stopped, and I didn't notice, and I went right through, so.
So pay attention. This skill could save your life.
I just get really scared.
Threshold braking is all about creating even brake pressure.
You pump the brake. Never, ever, ever pump the brake.
Yeah.
Dean doesn't pump the brake. He lets go completely.
In real life, we're in a house right now.
Success starts with vision.
But where were you looking at the end?
I was looking at the cones.
Keep looking where you want to go.
The challenge can begin now that everyone is ready.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The challenge is to drive into this corner at 50k an hour. At this line, drivers can begin braking and turning. If they lock the brakes, they'll skid into the wall. But if drivers find the braking threshold, they can slow down and make the turn. As I mentioned before, this challenge is being done in our brand new Camaro. This Camaro came from the factory with anti-lock brakes, but we disabled them. So now it just has regular brakes.
I want to look where I want to go. I'm braking, and I'm coming around this corner, but not skidding, and I'm stopping.
This challenge is scarier than it looks.
Now, let's see how Canada's worst drivers do.
Jamie is up first.
I'm scared I'm gonna go right through that wall.
Instead of looking to her left where she wants to go, Jamie stares at the wall and skids straight into it.
Okay.
If you stare at a threatening obstacle, you'll never release the brake.
I told you to let go of
Don't.
Motorcyclist Paul learned the trick to this challenge.
You want to look where you're going.
And you don't want to pump the brakes.
You're 50.
But that's what Paul does. He pumps the brakes, and at the last second, he steers back towards the wall.
Sucker.
Paul is the brightest light in rehab, but his chances of graduation are dimming.
That pisses me off. That pisses me off right there, man.
Paul should know better.
If you lock it up, you go right through it. I went right through and took the I took the light right off of her, right?
Slow Diane's first 4 attempts are all too slow. And that makes her cry.
Come on, Mama.
Diane finally gets it up to 50, but
Brake.
she stares at the wall and skids right through it. Diane is seeing improvement.
I went through the wall, but I got my speed.
Brad wants silence for this challenge. But before Brad gets to the braking area, he's hearing from Donna.
Oh my God! Ah! Ah!
Okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Donna would make anyone a bad driver.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scream like that, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Lance is focused today. And on his first attempt, he remembers to look where he wants to go.
Let go of the brake.
And he goes where he looks.
Woohoo! Yeah, baby!
Lance learned threshold braking and something else.
I've learned what the difference between ABS and airbags are. I thought they're both the same thing.
Dean kept letting go of the brake in his lesson. And in the challenge,
Right, that's 50 right there.
Dean completely releases the brake again.
What the is going on here, man? What are you doing? Man.
Dean goes blank in an emergency.
When I'm inside the car, I tend to forget everything.
Dale had a falling out with her nominator.
He doesn't want to be with me, and I don't want to be with him.
Dale's just being her typical self. She's taking something that's this big and making it this big.
I guess my point here is I don't trust him.
Fine. I'm here for you. Do you trust me?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be your nominator.
Okay.
As Dale's nominator, I will be reminding her that the key to this challenge is...
Look where you want to go.
That's advice I can't repeat often enough.
Look where you want to go. Remember to look where you want to go. Look where you want to go. And brake now and turn. Look at you go. Look at you go. That's Dale. You did it. Dale, you did it.
I did it.
Dale passed. But I think I helped.
So if only I could drive with you everywhere, you'd be safe all the time.
I would.
When we come back, the bad drivers face our experts. Then, someone graduates.
Our graduate is...
The nominees for Canada's Worst Driver have been learning. But have any of them learned enough to be this year's first graduate?
What the is going on here, man? What are you doing?
Our experts have seen everything. Now, they'll see the nominees face to face, starting with Dean.
Do you want to graduate this episode?
I think I should learn more, stay with you guys.
Paul also doesn't want to graduate.
Yeah, I would like to stay around. I would like to stay around and learn a little bit more.
Brad doesn't want to leave driver rehab either.
Do you want to graduate this episode?
I do not.
Does anyone want to graduate?
No.
I don't think so, no. I don't think I passed anything.
I definitely want to stay here and learn more.
I don't think I'm ready to graduate right now.
I don't think so either.
It's time for someone to graduate.
Why don't we just make a short list of who it might be, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I think it's the easiest way.
As I go through the potential list,
Diane?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
no one is selected.
Lance, no, he's not ready.
Brad?
No way.
No way.
Jamie?
Not yet.
Until I get to Paul.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, Paul is on the short list, but no one else, making him our only conceivable graduate.
It has to be Paul then.
Cam doesn't think Paul should graduate.
Paul's learning. He's a great guy. But to me, the deal breaker on this one's the threshold braking. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be on the road. He blew it.
I don't think we have room for 7 people. I know that he said he'd like to stick around, but, you know, we're not a hotel. Somebody's got to go. So my vote is for the only obvious candidate.
I don't think we can graduate anybody right now.
I'd go with Cam on that one.
I think Paul, of course he could learn more, but he's a safe driver, so I'm okay if we graduate him.
Me too, which means the tie-breaking vote belongs to Dr. Lauren.
Well, that's it for our 3rd episode this year on Canada's Worst Driver, which means it's time for someone to graduate and hit the public roads again. In this episode, our experts only had one person on their short list. Paul, I just want you to know that when every single other person came in to speak with our experts today, they all said they didn't deserve to graduate. They wanted to stick around and have more education. And you said the exact same thing. So, for this episode, everyone gets their wish. Our graduate is... no one.
For the first time in the history of the Driver Rehabilitation Center, we'll be entering our 4th episode without having graduated anyone. Next episode, though?
One of these 7 atrocious drivers will hit the road as this season's first graduate.
On the next episode of Canada's Worst Driver.
What am I supposed to do?
We've got a head-to-head reversing challenge that ends well for no one.
All right, well, that's a fail, I guess, eh?
There's a high-speed slalom.
You got it! What's up? Yo! Where are you going?
And
Oh.
There's our annual smooth driving challenge.